What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming at you today with a deck profile from my friend Hesham from a recent event that he went to.
Hi, I went 21st? Yeah, 21st at the regional that happened a few weeks ago now in London, Dark Sphere. Really good locals, would recommend. And yeah, I played Prank Kids at the time. I've been playing Prank Kids for like a little bit now. It's kind of like one of my OG decks I kind of went back to. I thought it was a really good meta call in the current like meta that we have currently. And yeah, I did quite well. I went, it was 1 draw, 2 losses, and 5 wins.
Yeah, I mean, not bad.
Yeah, I played against like a pretty the variety that you usually expect. Sword Soul, Bird Up, Eldritch. My last round was against Flunder, which was quite difficult, but not Flunder. It's Floundery it's called now, isn't it? The bird ones with the penguin and everything, and the Baron statue. Yeah, Floundery, that's the one. Yeah, I played against that. That was my last one, and yeah, so I'll show you the deck profile right now. With the Prank Kids, you want to always play 3 of these guys. So we've got 3 Lampsies,
the Burn,
3 Fansies,
I don't remember which one that is.
Don't do that.
Wait, where the heck is this card gone? Okay, for some reason I'm missing a card. I'll have to find that at some point. This is supposed to be 3 Dropsies. Okay, I'll look for that later. Alright, yeah, these are the 3 main boys. You want to make sure that you run 3 of them. Ignore this 2, this is supposed to be 3. Yeah, no, you've got Burn, you've got Gain 1000, and you've got Dump. This is amazing. This should always be your second summon, because it can play around things like Imperm, Ash, Veiler, and I'll show you like a little quick sort of combo, like how that works. O'Leary convinced me to run 2 Roxies. I used to run 3, but 2 is probably the best way to run, because it's just, it's kind of great to have, but like the banish, you don't want to banish your resources. Like the deck is very sort of like resource orientated, especially after like the Meow Mew ban, not ban, sorry, limit even. And yeah, 2 is probably the best ratio I think for it. But this one, yeah, you banish and you draw a card. Just to increase your chance of getting some Prankers. You've got Place, Search. What's also interesting about it as well is that it has the attack gain and the attack reduction, and those are technically not hard ones per turns. So if you already have a Pranker's Place on board, and you've used those effects that turn, if you use them again on your next turn and then activate another Pranker's Place, you can continue to reduce your opponent's attack and increase your attack again, basically. It's quite good. The deck OTKs pretty well, in my opinion. So yeah, there you go.
We live in a card game.
Oops, oh my goodness, just making a mess. 3 Pandemonium. Some people are like debating to run it like 2 because you can just search it, but I think 3 is probably the best. Like, it's not bad to have in your opening hand, but it's one of your vital cards that you're always going to need for your combo. Quick effect, fusion summon on your opponent's turn. It's fantastic. One thing people need to remember as well is that it's main phase, and some people keep forgetting that, but you know. You live in the land, but yeah, fantastic card. Pranks, this is basically a good way to kind of just make sure that you're, keeping your resources, managing them, by shuffling your cards and stuff like that. What you want to try and do with this card is you want to prioritize extra deck cards, so that way you can easily dig better into your deck for like, hand traps, your powerful cards and that sort of thing. It's kind of like sort of like a similar way to people who run Avarice and Zodiac, for example. Like, you want to make sure you can dig into your deck, but it's not too bad to like shuffle stuff in if that you don't need. And then obviously the token generation is also pretty good too.
It generates tokens.
Yes. If you discard a Prank Kids card, you can create a token. It is a normal monster, which is a problem, but you can link it off to make a Prank Kids monster if you need to. So yeah.
I just need to quickly read. What token does this thing?
Yeah, it creates a Pyro level 1.
Prank Kids token. Pyro Fire level. Okay.
Yeah. Best hand trap in the format, in my opinion. Draw and Lockbird.
It's huge right now.
Fantastic. A lot of decks in this current format. I guess. Hopefully this format won't be going for too long, so hopefully it's past format, but the format that we're currently recording in, Droll is probably the best hand trap right now. It hits like a lot of decks. It hits birds, it hits Drytron. It hits a lot of different decks, like harshly.
I can't think of any deck in this format that doesn't hit too heavily.
Doesn't affect Prank Kids that much, which is quite nice. But yeah, Droll is always going to be quite good. Since the Meow Mew limit, polymerization has been more than vital. Always run it at 3. If you have this in your opening hand and you have 2 non-dropsies, that's a Toad on your 4th summon, so it protects you from Nibiru. Yeah, polymerization just allows it just to extend further. And yeah, that's polymerization. What can I say? Always run that at 3 in my opinion. This a bit controversial, but I like it. The DPE package. For some reason there's only 2 fusion. Oh my goodness, I'm missing some cards. There must be some cards left in my deck box. I have to double check. But this is supposed to be 3 Fusion Destiny. Let me just double check that. 1 second. Okay, I'll have to check when I get home. Yeah, this should be 3 Fusion Destiny. I don't know why there's 2. Yeah, no, Fusion Destiny is fantastic. I open it up in my hand quite often, which is probably like preferable. But there are some times where, like, if your opponent like ashes you or something like that, you can just make a Verte and then have a DP, and usually that's like a good sort of board to end. Celestial, just Broken, Pot of Greed, Dasher, Special Summon. Like, it's a fantastic card. Most decks are running it right now, and it's helping a lot of them. I know some people are sick of it by now, but you know,
I'm sick of it.
It's here to stay, it seems, for the foreseeable future. We've got
for now.
I think it's coming out in the OTS, isn't it, as an ultimate, I believe.
Yeah, Fusion Destiny got confirmed as an OTS ulti, which means they're not going to hit the engine directly, but I think they're going to finally hit Verte.
Hopefully.
Ban the fucker.
Some one-offs, Instant Fusion. This is basically a glorified Soul... what was it? Oh god, I forgot what it's called. What was the trap again that you can pay life points in order to special summon from your grave?
Soul Demolition? Oh no, wait, that's not. Pay a trap to pay life points.
It wasn't trap. It was a spell card that you could pay 1,000 life points to special summon from the grave.
Soul Charge.
Yeah, it's basically a glorified Soul Charge, and I'll explain why. It works with Rocket Ride. Fantastic. This maybe will be a Prank Kids card as far as I'm concerned. Cool buy. This should be at 1. I don't know why it's at 1. It's at 2 in Master. It's amazing. Yeah.
Because it's at 2 in the OCG, but it's at 1 here.
But yeah, it's a fantastic card to just kind of, because like Ash is going to be like the bane of your existence. So it's just always good to kind of have a form of protection. Also, you can use it offensively and like, you know, banish things that people have in their grave. Monster Reborn. This is kind of a good extender. Just kind of just allows you to do some fun like tricky plays. I'll show you in a sec. Just Monster Reborn. Forbidden Droplet. This is an excellent card right now. If you can't afford to get it, or if you can't find them, I would recommend getting Chalice. It's just a great way to kind of just sort of like deal with certain things like Artifact Scythe, which is just rampant in the format. You know, bait out like negations. The good thing about Droplet.
Does that stop the effect of Artifact Scythe?
Yes.
No, because it wasn't through Houndoom.
I need to reread my Scythe at some point.
Yeah, but no, it's great, and you can't respond to it as well if you send a monster. So yeah, Droplets is good. And yeah, there's a lot of times in which you're special summoning a bunch of Prank Kids anyway. You can just use those as fodder for Droplets. So yeah, Triple Tactics. Triple Tactics is quite good. The Prank Kids Discord kind of like sold me on this one, as well as O'Leary as well. It's just you're going to get hand trapped, so you may as well draw. You may as well just do a trap dust to shoot on your opponent.
It must make me feel why I'm not playing this in Endymion, considering that I'm very likely to get hand trapped.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's quite good to
about
have.
it. That's something I should think about, seeing if I can pick up a Master Duel as well.
Triple Imperm. Imperm is Imperm. It's good. You know, bait out a negation, negate, shot your opponent. It's good. It's never a bad card. This used to be at 3, but I started running it at 2 because I'm running something else with it. But you could run this at 3. There can only be 1. Floodgates, very controversial. I'm not a big fan of them. However, this is excellent in this deck because all your Prank Kids are all different types.
And if you get a fusion summon, you're typically just going to do it from your hand, so it's not going to lock you out of summoning it before you do it.
Exactly. So
and then with tagging out something like Rocket Ride, as long as you're not as long as you've got a valid target that's a different type, you can still do it.
Yeah, so it's one of those tricky cards as well where you got to watch out you're not locking yourself out of the game because, like, for example, if you have Battle Butler on board, you can't summon Doodle Doo, you can't summon Fansies. Same thing if you have Weather Washer, you can't summon Dropsies or Toad. So you kind of got to be careful of that, but more often than not, you're screwing over your opponent because we have a lot of decks currently that have basically single archetypes. Drytron, mostly machine, you know, there's some fairy in there as well. Birds, they're all winged beasts. Same
Unless
thing
they're
with,
playing the Tri-Brigade variant, then they do have a couple of
true. Yeah, same with Flunder as well, they're all winged beasts. Sword Soul's all worm type, so yeah, you're making some of these decks that are even worse. You have PK as well with Warriors. The other card too that I'm running too is Skill Drain. Skill Drain is really good because Prank Kids cards don't activate on the field because they either
activate on the field, but they resolve in the grave, which gets around Skill Drain.
Exactly, and they tribute themselves. Like it's insane. This was another card that O'Leary sold me on, and I saw a lot of people running it in Prank Kids as well. I was hesitant because I'm not a big fan of Floodgates, but you know, you got to get the win, you got to get it.
I think the only thing it does conflict with is choosing to do Meow Mew and Grave if you choose not to tribute. If you choose not, because if you got Skill Drain, then you wouldn't be able to do the Meow.
Yeah, or Doodle Doo as well. Like, yeah, that'll also kind of like ruin it too. But yeah, I was considering maybe if I do make a change, maybe I'll run like another. There can only be one, but I'll have to move a few things here and there. Extra deck. Pretty happy with this extra deck. I don't know if there's some changes I'll make, but we'll see. One Meow Mew. Konami, please bring this to 2 or 3. Like, it's just.
Switch.
I've been playing it with 3 in Master Duel, and it's been so nice. Like, it would be so nice to have this card back, but you know, c'est la vie. Just really good card. You can double Raigeki your opponent. Like, what's not to love? You know,
That's actually baffling.
Doodle Doo searches all your spells, your traps. Well, trap. I think there's only one trap.
I think it's a Thunder.
Yeah, it's a Thunder. So yeah, 3 Doodle Doo. 1 Bow Wow. I know some people are running Bow Wow at 2, and maybe 2 might be alright, but I only really feel like I ever need 1 for the OTK as well as like you know, for the grab. So you know, I always make sure as well if you are playing this deck to do this during either your draw phase or standby phase, so you don't get triple tactics. So that's always a good one to try and make sure to remember. But yeah, usually this is a good like sort of OTK, or at the very least set you up for your Battle Butler plays. 1 Rocket Ride. This is what I mean by instant fusion basically being glorified soul charge, because yeah, basically res your Prank Kids from the grave, either link like a big monster like Access Code, or you know, make Toad or anything like that. You know, just like fantastic card. Battle Butler, the big boss boy of the deck. Just it's a Raigeki. Like, what's not to love? You can make him really big too. Just really fun. Oh, another quick thing about Rocket Ride. There was a while where I was running Chalice, and I actually kind of like the other droplet. There's a bit of an interaction that's quite interesting. So Rocket Ride, if you activate its effect on summon, it reduces its attack by 1,000. So when you do that, you can attack directly. However, if you attack your opponent directly and during damage calculation you forbidden Chalice it negates that effect. So you can basically attack your opponent for 2,400 right to the face. Yeah, because it activates during damage calc, and you can't stop your attack after that. Yeah, and you can make him much bigger too if you have Prank Kid's place as well. And if a Bow Wow bark's pointing at him, so you can at least make him 3,400, if not 39. So
what the hell?
right to the face. I beat an Eldritch deck online that way. It was really funny. So yeah,
Was this in Master Duel?
I think so. Yeah.
If you've got the replay, you need to show me that.
So, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, he's the boy of the format currently. What could be said that hasn't already been said about this card?
The fact that he's OP and Anaconda needs to be banned.
Yes, just always comes back. Just adds like a little extra, a little extra bit of a disruption. Link Spider in case your opponent Nibiru's you, or you can use it with the Prank Kid token, so you can go into Unicorn and Access Code or into Verte. You know, it's just kind of good. I'm kind of like a bit iffy on it. Like it is useful when it's useful, but like it's not always being used. But you know, it's good to have. Verte, you need to be banned. You suck. You're a degenerate. You're the worst part about this format right now. Yeah,
Coming from the guy using it.
Hey, a win is a win is a win. Is all I'm saying. Nightmare Unicorn. It's Nightmare Unicorn. Usually use it to link up into access code, but also the spin obviously is incredibly useful. Also, this alternate artwork is very lovely.
I will not lie, I haven't seen the alternate. Wow.
Yeah, it's got I think that's Ib, I think. Yeah, the World Chalice character. Yeah,
That's not bad.
it's really cool. Access code talker, just the OTK machine himself. He's basically taken the position of Boral Sword. You're always making him to kind of close out games if you really need to. As I said, the deck OTKs pretty well. And then last but not least, totally awesome. Yeah, your dropsies are both, they are level 2 water aqua monsters, so you're making totally awesome. And yeah, like a lot of the time he's just allowing you to like either like have a negate on board, because the deck does kind of, it doesn't have any kind of like negates or anything like that apart from poke, or like at the very least like protect you from Nibiru. Side deck's kind of boring, but I think it's effective. It's a side deck. Anti-spell, your deck. Anti-spell is always going to be good. Just just shuts off spells. Like something like a Forbidden Droplet or something like that is always going to be tough to deal with, or maybe a Dark Ruler no more. So it just kind of shuts it off. Generic back row removal, Cosmic Cyclone. I chose Cosmic Cyclone over any other form like Twin Twisters because number one, there's a lot of Eldritch, so all their traps like float into stuff. So just banish it so they don't get that. Also Scythe too. Like the last thing you want to do is like destroy it and then like just scythe yourself basically. So but obviously the best thing to do is allow your opponent to like shotgun their DPE
before you do the cyclone if you're anticipating it is
exactly, yeah.
or you know it's a cyclone.
Exactly. So yeah, it's I think it's a little bit better in this format in my opinion. Plus 1,000 life points is nothing. You're gaining life points all the time. So Dark Ruler no more. Just generic like good going second card. Along with evenly matched, usually it's like you side both of those in just so you can like destroy like a big combo board. And then Nibiru. Speaking of combo, Nibiru I'm kind of iffy on. Not many people are running Nibiru these days. I don't know what I'd change it for. Maybe Lancia. I'm not sure. But a lot of these cards like came in handy.
Originally I was just going to buy a couple
in
Pokemon cards.
most instances.
I've been thinking DD Crow recently this format just because of TPE.
DD Crow's good. Yeah, DD Crow's always good. But yeah, just a sort of like quick combo just to show. So what I meant by with Fansies being your second. So let's just say hypothetically you open up Lampsies. So you link off Lampsies. You get Meow. His effect. And then you summon Fansies as your second. Then you link these two off. Now your opponent may either Ash or Veiler your Doodle-Doo. Let's say they Veiler it. Fansies, you can use it to dump the card you're going to search from Doodle-Doo. So if it was a Pandemonium, if it's a place, you can do that. Then if you have another Prankiz, you link that off, make another Doodle-Doo, and then you contribute the Doodle-Doo to add back the card that you were searching for. So it doesn't really affect you. So it's a good way to kind of play around it. It's why I thought it was a really good sort of meta call, because like a lot of the decks right now are running Droll. The deck doesn't really like get affected by Droll very much, apart from hypothetically if you had a Roxy's in hand, if you were to draw off that, you could kind of like mess yourself up that way, but you're not really going to be doing that. You want to try and make sure you Roxy's it later on. It gets around Veiler because of, as I said, with that and with the tributing, it gets around Impa. So I thought it was pretty good there. The other like thing to keep an eye on as well too is if you have like
that's Riley's.
If you have two non-dropsies cards in your hand in a polymerization, make sure you poly them right away because on the fourth summon you can then summon a Toad, so then you can just kind of go off there from with your combo. So yeah, there's probably a few other more combos there, but those are sort of like the basic ones to kind of keep to remember. Yeah, not really much else to say there. So yeah, thank you very much for featuring my my deck profile, AJ, and I'll take it back to you.
Okay guys, so that was the profile. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below what you thought about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.